Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about Jujutsu Kaisen 0, the movie. I think it's been out since 2021 in like Japan and stuff, but it's only been released like yesterday or the day before here in North America, and I couldn't wait to see it. The second I saw that it was out, I went and watched it, and oh my god, was it a good movie. So let's talk about it. In this video, like I said, I will be putting clips from the movie most likely. I'll try to get most of them from the trailer, so not to spoil too much, but also there are certain aspects and subjects that I will be touching that will kind of spoil the movie. So if you haven't seen it, just go watch the movie and then come back and watch the video. If you like Jujutsu Kaisen, you should definitely check out this movie. They really did it justice and it's really good overall. The story starts with Yuta being bullied and having an overprotective curse by his side to defend him in many scenarios. This curse is actually an old friend, which Yuta had promised to marry, but died, hit by a car 6 years. The Jujutsu Society hears of him and wants him executed, but Gojo objects and decides to train him at Jujutsu High. After seeing him accomplish a couple of missions and slowly but surely gaining control of Rika, Geto steps in the picture and tries to recruit Yuta to obtain the curse Rika. Yuta declines and Geto ends up declaring war. We then skip to that day where we see war between Geto's curses and the Jujutsu sorcerer. Geto shows up at the Jujutsu High with Yuta alone because everybody else is out fighting the war and tries to kill him to take the curse. Yuta, filled with rage, ends up defeating him with all of his power and the power that Rika has given to him. By doing so, he ends up breaking the curse as well. And at the end of the story, we see him training in Africa with Miguel, and Gojo comes to visit him. That's the end credits. Something I really like about this movie is the fact that it is canon. So in the sense that it is part of the story and makes sense within the story. It's not just filler created to either make money or waste time between seasons because they don't have enough material. That is why I like this movie, because not only does it give a great adaptation of a 4 chapter manga, it also does it in such an extraordinary way. Like, it is so interesting and it keeps you so entertained. And the best part is that it adds to the main story, it adds to the characters, it builds up the world that we know. It's just great overall. And like I said, it's better than just a random movie that they dropped. And the movies that animes usually drop are either recaps of things that happened during the season. So basically, if you've watched the season, watching the movie is not going to bring anything. Sometimes they add extra scenes. For example, in Death Note, they made a movie for the recap of the first season. But I mean, other than a couple scenes that they added, there's nothing different, so it's not worth watching. And the other reason they would make it is either just to make money off of filler. So, because obviously people are going to go see the movie no matter what. So, it being canon or not wouldn't change a thing. They would still make money. But the fact that this movie and Jujutsu Kaisen 0 is canon just makes it that much greater and that much more interesting and that much more of a good movie. An example I could think of when seeing this movie would be the Mugen Train Arc movie in Demon Slayer. Not necessarily that there are any similarities, but more in the sense that they're both canon and they're both amazing. They're both great. And like I said, the fact that they're canon brings a feeling of not intensity, but like you're actually scared of what's going to happen to the characters and what might happen because it's permanent. It's canon. It's not like filler. Another thing I really like about the movie is that Yuta, who is someone that I thought didn't even exist in the Jujutsu Kaisen world, is actually name dropped a couple of times during the first season. But I didn't know who it was at first. So I find it pretty cool that they had kind of more or less like foreshadowed a little bit this person who I didn't know who was. But now in the movie I know who it is and where he is and kind of have an idea of who this person is and how he can be introduced as a character when he comes back. Like I said, it really develops the character and gives you a good backstory of who he is, why he acts that way, and it also gives you a sense that it also gives you like a sense of being proud of Yuta, who has accomplished a lot, being from a little timid, bullied kid to becoming a very strong special grade sorcerer in less than like a year is very impressive, and you kind of feel for him. The movie makes you feel and be happy for him, and it's incredible. Other characters that we see that was great is Gojo. Gojo again shows up looking as fresh as ever with his white blindfold. Great look. And of course, overpowered, always, as Gojo is, just beating some ass, just kicking some people, just beating them up. And yeah, we just get to see like again, just being able to see Gojo is always great. He always brings like some lighthearted comedy to scenes that could be like very, very serious and stuff like that. But he's always like a little bit comedic, but he can also be so serious in certain times, and it's just great. You really see the duality of Gojo as a character in this movie. We also see Geto, which we kind of understand and is more or less explained, but they kind of explain what his point of view is, why he thinks like that, why he decides that all humans who are not jujutsu sorcerers should die, etc. So I think it was a great way to also introduce the villain that's going to come back in the next season and give him kind of a quick backstory as well. And yeah, it really gives you like you see Panda, you see Maki, you see all the characters that are there before Yuji and Megumi. Yeah, before them. So it's really great to see them. And then you also see Toto and like Megumi's brother and like just the Maki's sister, etc. You see all those people, and it was great to see them. It was just kind of like a get together. Like you got to see all your characters from season one that you liked, and you're just like, oh, okay, that's really cool. You see them kicking some ass for a little bit, and then you switch back to Yuta, who's absolutely destroying Ghetto. Is just incredible, just great. Now let's talk about the animation. The animation studio who made this movie and who makes Jujutsu Kaisen as a whole is of course Mappa, who's known for making the second part of Attack on Titan, other series as well. But they're probably gonna. I'm pretty sure they're making Vinland Saga the second season as well. They're very known. They did very well. I think that it looks very crisp. I'll show some examples in the video. It looks very crisp. It looks very clean. Everything is just well animated. The fights are well animated. Everything is well put together, and you just feel like they took their time and that they really wanted to make a great movie all around. Because I mean, the movie could have been good without the animation being on par, but like Mappa really stepped up and they were like, okay, let's give this all we got, and just like it's a great animation to go with a great movie. It's incredible. I really like the animation part of this movie as well. So there you have it, guys. My review of Jujutsu Kaisen 0. Just to recap, I just wanted to say how much I love this movie and how fun it was to watch it and how fun it will be to keep rewatching it over and over again, which I probably will. So yes, I think that you should certainly watch this movie. And even if you haven't watched like Jujutsu Kaisen and you might want to get into it, I think that this is certainly a good way to get into it because, but first of all, it's a prequel, so it's stuff that happened before the main story, anyways. And second of all, everything is really well explained and condensed into like an hour and 45-minute story, which really explains everything that you need to know to then move on to the actual story and then really understand what is going on. So there you have it, guys. My review of Jujutsu Kaisen 0, the movie. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.